Hi everyone, this is the Gibello family here at Moka. This is episode 3 of Moka Table Talk. It is the Lord's Day, February 11th, 2024. We just got back a few hours ago from our morning Lord's Day meeting. We went to Media's house. Some of you may know about him. He's the one guy who's interested most in the gospel, it seems. He has an interest possibly in getting baptized, so we're encouraged about that.
So we wanted to tell you some information about food and what we do here for the produce that they bring to us. One of the big ones is kumu, which is the word for greens in Pidgin. And there's nothing equivalent to spinach. They're very, very different than American greens. Like, there's no kind of kale or some kind of lettuce, especially in our area. Up in the highlands, yes. So I buy this thing called tulip, which is 2 leaves put together. That's why it's called tulip.
Tulip.
Yeah. Yes.
The kids like it. Bella doesn't. Elijah likes it. Caleb and I both like it.
Yeah, it's good.
We cook it with coconut cream, which you can buy powdered here. And
it's 2 leaves off a tree, so they gather them off the tree. The smaller the better, just like baby spinach.
yeah, if it's bigger, it's thicker.
Yeah, the big stuff is annoying.
It's hard to get
It's
down.
too hard.
It's
Doesn't
very
boil as
difficult
well.
and chewy and
Another kind is called pit. It's another kind of green. I would say it's equivalent to like an artichoke heart.
yeah, pipit's good. I like
But
the
it's
bit.
long like
yeah,
a carrot.
I like it too.
Long green like a carrot. You have to peel it like like you're gonna shuck corn. So that's hard. And then, what's the other one we do? Oh, mattress bananas, which are these really, really thick,
Fluffy.
fat bananas.
Yeah, they're really like fluffy.
They're
And
like marshmallows.
And you take a spoon, so you cut the banana in half after you peel it. Then you take a spoon and like sort of boat them, like you would do like a zucchini boat. So you boat the
or
banana.
make a canoe.
Yeah, and then you chop up the middle, all of the banana you just took out. Then you chop that all up and put it back into the banana. And you put the 2 halves back together like you're making a whole. And then you cook it in coconut cream as well. The kids really like that, right?
That's excellent.
There's 2 kinds of pit though.
Yeah, we only like the one kind.
Go ahead, let me tell.
One kind is regular pit.
Which is the one we like.
Yeah, and the other kind, I have no idea what they say.
This looks sort of like a fluffy cattail.
Yeah,
If you know those reed cattails by the riverside.
it has a different flavor.
Doesn't taste good. We don't like them.
They're sort of just like fluffy and ugh.
And our main fruit is pineapple and pawpaw, which is papaya.
Yeah, papaya.
Which is great. You should try it.
It helps fight malaria, they say, which is helpful in our area.
Oh,
Not the
yeah.
papaya itself.
The seeds.
The leaf and the seeds help with worms in your stomach. Papaya actually has a lot of benefits to health.
I like pineapple.
Yeah, the pineapple's nice. So those are some of the foods that we get here. They also bring us fresh meat sometimes, like fresh pig and what they call sagina, which is a wild cassowary. So we get
Or sibida, which is crocodile.
That's a crocodile.
Crocodile.
We have pigs too.
And they get catfish.
Yeah, catfish
We
and
get
prawns.
shrimp.
So that's
Fish.
some of the food here that they gather.
Hi, this is Elijah. We're going to be moving on from the food, and we're going to go to my book recommendation for the month. My book recommendation for the month is by the Great Horn Spoon. And here, you can listen to a small clip from it.
Fullcast Audio presents By the Great Horn Spoon by Sid Fleischman.
So that was just a small thing in it that you can listen to it or read it.
Yeah, you have it on Audible.
It's on Audible.
Yeah, we
so
have Amazon Audible.
Yeah, it's better than... I like it. It's good. So, like, when you're, like, at night or something, and you could listen to the book when you're sleeping and stuff. So
Why
it's
did
good.
you like the book?
I liked it. It's about the gold rush, so it's around that time. It's just a good book. There's nothing bad in it.
Yeah, Elijah likes to listen to a lot of audiobooks, which is good here in Moka.
It's just about an adventure of how they live in Boston, then they need to go to California to get rich, so then they can save their house from getting sold, and their house is in Boston. So it's a pretty good book.
Okay.
Elijah also likes astronomy. That's one of his favorite subjects. Let me tell us a little about astronomy.
Astronomy. Well, here we have a lot of astronomy books, so I read them a lot. It's a good way to learn about God's creation, and I like it.
We just read something about Saturn.
Well, yeah. Did you know that Saturn is not a sphere? It's actually more like an oval.
Because why?
Because of the gas in it. The gas of Saturn, it makes it so it bulges out on the sides.
All right, thanks, Elijah, for sharing about your stuff. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the translation and preaching that I've been working on regarding the ministry, more specifically. Some of you might know I've been translating through Genesis 1 through 11, and now I've moved on to the Gospel of Mark. I want to translate through that. And finishing up the Genesis 1 through 11 chapters, I'm now preaching through that at the meetings that we have here in Moka and up and down the river. So we just started Genesis chapter 3 this morning at the meeting we've referred to earlier. And so I preached on Adam and Eve sinning and them eating of the forbidden fruit.
Well,
how Satan.
They've been taught this stuff too.
Well, they've heard the story.
Right. The
They've never been taught it.
Which we're finding interesting. Their questions.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so they'll ask questions, which is good. And I've been preaching in the language mostly as I learn it. So that's been an answer to prayer, and the people seem to be understanding more. And like Melissa said, asking questions. And I ask a lot of questions in my preaching to check and confirm what I've translated, to make sure it's clear that they're understanding correctly what I translate and what I preach and say. And they answer the questions correctly most of the time. So that's been encouraging. We just went down to the 3 villages, which is about a 45-minute ride south on the river. And we go there once a month or so to preach and have evangelistic meetings. And I preach there from Genesis 3 as well to those other villages. They don't see us too often. Obviously, we don't live in those villages. But we get down there to evangelize. And Lord willing, we'll be able to see churches started in those villages as well. So that's a bit of an update on the translation. Please continue to pray for that. Pray that I'll become more fluent in the language too. And as I start translating through Mark, and then in the future be preaching through that as well. So we're going to have Bella say a few things too, so you could hear from her. She just listened to an audiobook, I think, right, Bella?
Yes, it's Riley Mack.
So here's a little clip like Elijah put for you so you can hear from Bella's book.
Audible. Audible Originals presents Riley Mack and the Other Known Troublemakers. Written by Chris Grabenstein.
So that's the book Bella listened to. You want to say anything about it, Bella?
It's funny. If you listen to it, you will probably laugh like I do.
Nice.
And what's it about?
It's about
Riley.
Riley.
Who's Riley?
One of the main characters in the book.
What kind of kid is he?
He's a teenager kid, and he has to find a dog that is one of his best friends. But the dog, someone captured the dog.
Okay.
Oh, it
cool.
didn't get lost. It got captured.
So that's also another audio book from Amazon, one that Bella listened to. Bella, how about you tell us about our full 18-hole golf course here on our property?
Well, me and my brother and my dad all wanted to play golf.
This is the first golf course at Moka. It's not 18 holes, but
No.
that was a joke. But
It's 6.
It's 6.
but
That's
hey,
far from
it's
18.
pretty epic.
So
And the other day, the ball lost the ball.
Who
so now we
set
can't
it
play.
up?
I won the first game.
Who set it up?
I did.
Elijah and me.
So we got some obstacles. We got a fake sand pit.
It's a dog bag.
Yeah, it's a dog bag. So that's one of our activities that we do here. All right, Bella, thanks for sharing. Anything else you want to say before you go?
Nope, that's it.
All right, thanks, Bella.
So I was reading this book to the kids for school, "Savage, My Kinsman" by Elizabeth Elliot, and did you like it?
Yes,
it was
I
a good
did.
book.
There was a book I gave Melissa about 15 years ago.
I think you gave it to me before we got there.
Maybe before we got there, yeah.
I think you gave it to me
18 years
before.
ago.
50.
No. Married 17 years this year. I would say we got it when I was engaged to him. Maybe he wanted me to read it, obviously, before I came to New Guinea, but I'm reading it now.
Oh, I guess you forgot about it.
And we're reading it. We finished it. And her purpose was, it's Elizabeth Elliot going in for the first year that she was with the Auca Indians after her husband had died. She was there with Rachel Saint, and she was just pretty much, her life was surviving. She was living in their hammock, no walls, and she's trying to learn the language. She's eating like they are, and she said her whole thought originally was, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be just like them. But as a white skin, you're never just like them. You can never be. If we've grown up in America, especially Elizabeth Elliot is from New Jersey, just like us. So she grew up in New Jersey. She's used to her life that way, even though she was serving in other areas as a missionary. She still just didn't understand, like, why can't I be like them? And then her one point was, this is what hit me hard, was, what am I here for? What is the main purpose? Because I can't be like them. I'm not like them.
That's a good question.
And her main point, which she said, was to just bring them the gospel, to speak Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was amazing to me. What's my she failed. She fell. She couldn't cook like they did. She couldn't chop firewood like them. I mean, I live the same kind of life. I'm not living like them. I can't live like them. I'm not like them. They know we're human and we're alike in many other ways, but many times I'm always like, what's my main purpose here and what's my reasoning? Especially when you might be depressed or homesick. For Elizabeth talks about that as well. And the main purpose she was there was to translate and bring the gospel of Christ to them. And so I have to put that into perspective of the reason why I'm here. I'm here to bring the gospel to these people. And the Lord used her greatly. And obviously Rachel stayed there much longer than Elizabeth. But he opened, because of the death of her husband and her willingness to be obedient to Christ, she went in to these people who were savages, right? And how they changed and became Christians due to that open door.
Yeah, it's a great story. I'm sure many of you know about Jim Elliot. And humanly speaking, he accomplished nothing going to the Aucas. He died, but God used his death to bring many new missionaries onto the field.
And many people to be saved through Time Magazine, just reading his thing. What did you like about the book?
I liked how it was a story. Most books are just, like the most...
Oh, school books?
School books are just like textbooks that aren't very exciting. But this was a pretty good story, and we got to read it for like a month and stuff, so that was fun.
Do you remember anything specific that was similar to our life?
Shooting pigs
With
and
what?
with spears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's what they do here.
So, and how they would do a feast. Sometimes they would have a feast there, they said, and that was one of their main things. And these people a lot of times will do that for like Christmas Day and things.
Yeah.
Right.
For their partying. They were on a river.
That's true. That's similar to our life here in Moka as well. And also, as we're talking about Jim Elliot and Elizabeth, one of my favorite quotes is what Jim said many years ago. This is going on, 75 years about, something like that. And he said that someone is not a fool to give up what they can't keep to gain something that they can never lose. And obviously, he had a perspective on eternity, knowing that our lives are short. And that goes for all of us. Only what we do for Christ and his kingdom will last. So I want to encourage and challenge all of us to be living for Christ and his kingdom, especially in uncertain times. We certainly don't know the future, but living for Christ is what matters most.
All right, that's it for the report. We're glad that we could give a report to all of you. We want to thank all of you who support the gospel work here. We can't do it without you, so thank you for your giving and prayers.
We will all see you
next time.
All right, that's it for the report. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope it was a good summary, again, of our work here in Moka, the gospel ministry, Frontier Missions. This is early 2024.